What's going on, party people? My name is Solomon and I am an artist, and thus I go by Solomon the Artiste. I just finished recording a video just speaking about how much I love Mariah Carey, and it made me think about what it means to be a mixed kid, you know? And I mean, that video, it wasn't a cover video. It was just me just talking about how much I freaking love Mariah Carey. But there will be cover songs, possibly a whole week of just Mariah Carey covers that I'm gonna share with you all in conjunction with that video. But in response, or rather in respect to that video, I couldn't help but think back on another reason that I love Mariah Carey. You know, I went to school as a young black boy whom people made fun of for a multitude of things. I know exactly what it is to be bullied, to be made fun of, to be ridiculed, to be viewed as less than, and all those things. One of the things that I was picked on for was for the way that I speak, which now it obviously works in my favor as an actor and just in general life. People often said to me that I sounded like a white boy, that I spoke like a white person, and I honestly never knew what that meant. I just speak the way that I speak. And you know, over some years after elementary school and a little after junior high school, I definitely began to watch a lot more I used to watch a lot more hip-hop videos and things like that because I wanted to sort of learn the lingo and learn the vernacular and such. And it worked. I picked up on certain things. I learned how to speak more like this and stuff like that, but it's not particularly natural for me to fall into that lingo, you know. Depending on who I'm around or where I'm at or who I'm speaking to, you know, I might slip into it, but ultimately the way that I'm speaking now is my natural tongue, so to speak. And to this day, I still don't know what it means when someone says that you speak white, you know. And it absolutely didn't help the situation when my mom actually came and picked me up from school at certain times. When people got to see my mother, they would basically say, that's why you talk like that, that's why you act like that, you know, that sort of thing. And there was actually a time in my younger life, my mother never knew this, where I was too embarrassed for her to come around because I wanted everyone to think that I was just merely black, just a light-skinned black boy, you know. That's it, you know, nothing more. You know, not mixed, just light skin, that's enough, you know. And the crazy thing is that this actually bothered me even into high school, to be honest with you. I remember someone in high school, I guess that's kind of part of how Mariah Carey falls into this. I connected with her on being a mixed child. I've experienced, you know, a certain amount of mixed kid problems, you know. I remember when Mariah Carey had her breakdown on TRL, and I was in high school at this time, and someone, I'll never forget, I forget her name, but I'll never forget her face. Like, if I saw her today, I would absolutely know who she is. But she says to me, "Hey, Solomon, Mariah Carey went crazy. You're biracial, are you gonna go crazy?" And at the time, I remember I just kind of laughed it off like, no, I'm fine, I'm not stressed out, you know. But it wasn't until afterwards where I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute, what does being mixed have to do with it? She didn't even go crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Just, there were so many things wrong with that statement, you know. And I don't know, it kind of really messed with me as a person for the majority of my adult life, because I honestly never felt as if I was black enough. And I definitely couldn't be white enough because there's more than enough color in my skin, you know? And so I was just sort of left in a place where I don't fit in. My complexion says one thing, but my actions say another thing, you know, or my speaking voice says one thing. And, you know, and then that just made it even worse because, you know, growing up in New York City as a, you know, a young black boy who speaks in this manner, you know, people assume that you're full of yourself, you know. And then on top of that, I was such a shy child. I'm still pretty shy right now in my adult life, but, you know, my shyness was often mistaken for standoffishness. And is that even a word? My shyness was often mistaken for me being standoffish. And so, or stuck up, you know. And so there was all these misunderstandings about me. Like I remember I learned that there was this girl, she was very sweet and very pretty in high school. And every time she would see me, you know, she would be so pleasant to me and just so extra kind to me. I never understood why, you know. But I found out like a month later that she was telling people how she really, really liked me and wanted to approach me to see if I wanted to go out. But she had heard from some other people in the school that that I don't date black girls. And that, or that I don't date dark-skinned girls. Granted, most of the girls that I had dated happened to be light-skinned, but that was never intentional. You know, I didn't even realize it until somebody brought it to my attention, you know. But, you know, someone or some people told her that and basically told her that I was prejudiced, and then she just completely stopped speaking to me, you know. And it's crazy. Like, it's really amazing. Like, I never really noticed how this whole thing can really affect your life, you know. I remember Mariah Carey speaking about her experiences as a child, especially being a mixed child growing up in Long Island in the 80s and whatnot. And I connected with a lot of her experiences. You know what's a really great book? The Color of Water by James McBride. It's a beautiful book. It's almost like getting two books for the price of one, because every other chapter, I think it's like the odd numbered chapters speak about his mother growing up as a Jewish child into adulthood. And then the even numbered chapters speak about his childhood growing up with all his brothers and sisters as a mixed child in my neighborhood that I grew up in and attending the elementary school that I attended, you know, as a child. You know, I connected with that book so much because, again, I understood what it was to be that mixed kid in a school. And for James McBride, it was actually worse because he was going to my school, PS 118, Hey Arnold School, haha. He was going to that school in the, I believe the 80s. So he, in essence, was one of a handful of black kids. And on top of that, I think he may have been, with the exception of his, you know, siblings, may have been the only mixed kid in the school at the time among a sea of white kids. And, you know, and in his class, he was definitely the only black student. And so there was this assumption like that, you know, oh, you're black, you should be able to dance very well. Do this dance, you know. I've experienced things like that. I mean, of course, for me, it was kind of the opposite in the sense that the assumption was that I can't dance because of the white half. Being a mixed kid is a struggle. You know, it's like literally, it's like, where do you fit in? Like, at least for me, I'm obviously black. You know, I've got color in my skin. I mean, granted, yeah, there are people who often assume that I and maybe Puerto Rican and black, or Dominican, or whatever. But the point is, at least looking at me, that people can usually, before hearing me speak, they usually find some kind of box that they think that I can fit into, which is what's going on, y'all. All right, so I apologize. The camera, the battery died mid-sentence, and I basically just wanted to very quickly actually end the video. I couldn't end it where I was located because the kids came home, so there's a bunch of noise going on. But I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and you know, if you haven't subscribed, I can't remember if I said that at the end. If I did, I'll just cut this out. But I just want to say thank you for watching, and God bless.